Hello everyone, my name is Rory, your local Splatoon interview addict, and today I'm joined with Droid and Fern from DPS Only. Could you guys do me a favor and introduce yourselves real quick, starting with Droid first?
Hi, I'm Droid. I'm a midline flex who plays CRB, Dynamo, and Splattershot Pro, depending on whatever our comp is.
Hi, my name is Fern. I am a Nautilus one trick, and I'm the captain of DPS Only.
So, guys, could you walk me through a little bit the history of the team, how long you guys have been playing together, how the team was formed, that sort of thing?
Fern probably
Yeah,
has this.
so um, DPS Only was actually formed initially for LUTI season 16, um, but it didn't have a full roster until just about the start of the NA League in late 2025. Um, where Droid and a few other players joined on. So we've been like an actual consistent team since then. But me and Droid have been playing together since like mid 2024 on our previous team, which was like Div 5 and Ludi Season 15. So we recently got seeded Ludi Division 3 um, in Season 17, a year after the team was originally created. Um, and now we are just, after Ludi, just kind of setting our sights on whatever larger tournaments pop up next.
You kind of mentioned the this idea of um setting your sights to tourneys that are coming up next with a tourney like 20XX on the horizon, signing up playing for that. How do you feel like the team is approaching that goal wise? Do you feel like you're setting your eyes high, or do you think you're coming in with a bit of a level head and reasoned expectations?
Um, I would say I probably have the most reasoned expectations of anyone on the
Not
team.
me.
Um, and especially when we were playing the NA League, I think Droid and our frontline player at the time had some really like high goals. I was just trying to see how far we could go. But I think we've been going through some roster shuffles since the NA League. Also leading into this Ludi season, so we're trying to just we've been figuring that out recently, but like especially for the NA League, I think our goals were relatively high if you average them over the team.
Yeah, I had my goals higher because in the first practice week, I played with like only one person from DPS only, and we kind of had to pick up just to see how it worked, and we got top 8. So I knew it was gonna be harder in the actual weeks, but I knew we could actually get at least one top 8, and we did. And I was always pushing for it every week. I knew we could get it, and we got at least one. So I was really happy with our results for NA League, especially because we got 14th overall.
As kind of a team, do you think that you have a unique approach to the game at all? Do you think you play quite a standard game of Splatoon 3, or do you think there's a unique flavor there?
I think with the way that we have a Nautilus, that makes us play a lot differently than most other teams. Like there's only 3 or 4 knots in this scene, right? For so we kind of have to build our comps around his one trick Nautilus, which is really challenging, but also really fun because nobody knows how to fight it. And as long as we can just figure out the other team, it feels like we can always adapt to it because I'm a flex. We have another one trick brush, and we did have a flex backline, but it's on. They're on hiatus right now, so that was the way that we could do it. We could always like flex to whatever would work against the other team instead of having to stay on one specific comp constantly. Even though we did stay on a consistent one for NA League.
Yeah, I mean our current comp is a bit weird. Um, we're running with a bow player at the moment, so we are running the bow dynamo core, which has been getting tested by at least some high level teams at the moment or recently, but definitely having to slot a Nautilus into that comp is kind of weird and has been surprisingly working pretty well. Um, I don't think our like overall approach to the game is very like weird. I think I have a relatively orthodox like approach. But I do think that we have been a kind of like full team of mechs players
Oh yeah.
for a while, especially with our NA League roster. It was just like four strong like individual players. I think I am the mechs guy as in general, and I try to indoctrinate all of my teammates
Burn the
into
aim god.
into my into like that sphere a little bit.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I think like if we weren't forced to run kind of weird comps, I don't really think it would be that weird. We are not hyper divers at the very least. Like
That's crazy. Call out.
We pulling up the Splatoon 3 buzzwords today. Um,
We are.
I mean, Fern, you are like, according to my very own interview, you are the aim expert. Um, and so when you're kind of approaching the game in a very mechanic centric way as a team, do you think that alters the kind of standard plan at all? Do you think as a team of like four individual players, because there's been a lot of discourse in the last like couple months about being a good individual player with like strong mechanics and strong like instinct and individual kind of sensibility versus kind of more of like an adaptable team player kind of broad strokes person. Um, do you think that there's any difference like in a team environment where it's four of those kind of individual mechs focused players?
um I think we are sometimes a little bit reliant on solo play type stuff. Like one of the things like they often that often comes up in like other games where you have rosters with really strong mechanical like level across the board is like if somebody isn't popping off on a given day, then like the other players can, which I think is a generally a strength of us. Like sometimes Paintbrush player will kind of just be carrying games, has just like takeover days on Dynamo or Pro, or like sometimes I will just hit every shot for a set or two.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think it allows us a little bit of flexibility in terms of like if some person isn't having a like the best day of their lives. Um but especially like when you're going through like roster changes, it makes it kind of hard to practice like macro team stuff. Um but we do kind of focus, I think, on like how we can individually play around each other as opposed to like larger structure things, which maybe comes from like zero specials on the whole team.
Yeah, that's a big problem. We don't have entry specials at all, so we kind of have to go for picks no matter what our comp is.
Mm. I mean, yeah. What do you got? You got like you're probably running incline bow, is it?
We're actually
No,
running Jet now, so
Oh
that
yeah,
has
pack
helped a
bow. Yeah,
lot.
yeah. Pack bow is kind of your only option with entry there, huh? Because otherwise you're running like rain or splashdown and like cooler. It's like
Hmm.
but not the best entry special
yeah,
compared to
yeah.
the likes of Nest Blast or something. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's you kind of have to have cracked mechanical players if you're playing zero special comps. Like, otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
you will not be winning games.
Mm-hmm. I think that's kind of a like that's a very Splatoon 3 idea that like thinking about kind of in Splatoon 2 there was this idea of like, oh, you always fight with specials and like specials are how you win fights, whereas I think now there's like this new gen Splatoon 3 idea is very much so like, what if you just took better fights? Like, what if you just used your main gun? What if your main gun was just strong and you were competent at using it? um
Mhm.
and I think that's for this game and the pace it plays at, that's the way it goes really. Um, with that very kind of mechanics focused playstyle, going into 20XX where you're facing the likes of PXG, you're facing Gray, you're facing Jordan, you're facing you're facing Azure, you're facing Zenith, you're facing Goss and Thunder, and like these big names. Do you get like intimidated that you're going to be coming up against people who've put thousands of hours into mechanics at the highest level of play?
It's really intimidating for sure. I'm not going to deny that. But I have hope because of the specific weapons that we have really good mechanics with, because they haven't been seen for years. Like specifically, we're going to be running a Dynamo, Jet Bow, Knot, and Inkbrush comp, which the only one of those that's been in top level recently has been like Inkbrush, right? So those will help us be a lot more scary, I think, with the way our mechs are really good. Um, yeah, I don't. Though it is very very faithful, hopeful thinking.
No, I'm not too much think about like I don't think the hour count. I mean, is important for mechanics if you're smart. Um, I mean I've been on my. I really need to actually make the YouTube video, but I've been on my trying to get Western Splatoon players into aim training bit for like a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's when it comes to facing them mechanically, I think like there's definitely a I don't feel like I'm at a massive mechanical advantage. I do. That's not to say that I think I'm as good as like someone like Jordan, obviously not. But I don't think about that in terms of like facing really good players. I think about all the other stuff, like all of the my decision making and other fighting things that like make them challenging to play against. Um, but I mean, I don't have ego on main publicly, but like I think like it's the other things. Like it's the like I have a Kovacs account for a reason. Like I'm not worried about I'm not worried about getting fully aim diffed, I guess. I'm worried about getting like player diffed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because it is
Team
one
diffs,
aspect
yeah.
of a large game, right?
Hmm.
When it comes then to like the team as a whole, kind of coming back to DPS only, um, I've seen a lot of efforts that you guys have made in terms of like branding and getting like known as like faces within the community. Could you tell me a little about that?
Um, I was kind of inspired by that Ezio interview from a while ago. I think it was like 5 months ago or something, where he said to lock in and do team branding. And while I don't have the time to make perfect graphics for every post we make, I have been putting my effort into making a lot of events for the team and such, or kind of just hyping us up, like with a hashtag and such. We're trying to have most players be streaming. Like we did have everybody streaming at one point, but then the team kind of messing, losing players and such happened. Uh, but I'm trying to make it more clear what our story is, because that's the problem. Nobody knows what the story of a team is. But if you look at our blue sky, you can see the whole story. If you're gonna look at my YouTube soon, you're gonna see our whole story of LUTI. I'm gonna make a video for every single LUTI week. Because nobody really does that very often. I think Pika might be doing that. I'm not sure, but it hasn't been done before, at least not recently that I've seen. So that's my goal, to try to make it more clear what a team story is and try to get people hyped up about a team.
Do you think like hmm with when it comes to talking about kind of the bigger story of the team, what's the story you want to tell about DPS only in 20XX? What's the motive behind signing up? What's the path that you took to get here, and what's the goal that you have for playing in the event?
Um, I guess for I wasn't really planning on making content around this tournament specifically, because while it is it does have a lot of top level teams, so we might not get a good run. But if we even just get like one good result or something, I might. But with the goal, it's really just to show that we're not afraid of playing in those majors and such. Like if it's open to our level, we will still try if time allows it. We will always try the highest tournaments. We really enjoyed fighting against top level teams in the NA League, even though I don't think we got a good result on any of them. We always we held our own in the games. We lost every game, but I feel like the gap isn't as big as it may seem after actually fighting them. So it's kind of more, it's kind of trying to another chance to prove ourselves, really.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You can dream about an underdog run. I think we will just, worst case, some VOD review material. But I yeah, I mean, it's nice. It's always good to get practice against like high level stuff. Um, and I think that's probably our main, will be our main focus going into 20XX. But yeah, just kind of seeing if we can get anything done.
I always say after a tourney run that a bad tourney run is just a good VOD review. So
Yeah.
I definitely see where you're coming from. Because like as much as you do want to have that dream, that like a romanticized idea of like, oh, I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna do my best and maybe I can walk away with like, oh, maybe I'll get top 8, maybe I'll get the high bracket, maybe I'll like top 4 or whatever. Or even like get as high as reaching finals or something. You can think all of that and it's like a nice thought, but at the same time you also have to be true to like where you're at and what's feasible for you and what's the next step. Because if you're not thinking like that, if you're not thinking in practical terms, you'll never get to the point where you're getting top 8, where you're getting podium, where you're getting to finals, right?
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah, I try to have the positive mindset just because it hypes up the team a lot. And it's kind of like, I do it as like, it's not like a joke to hype it up, but I play it off of as it sometimes. So it's kind of like a running gag. Like it's always gonna be possible eventually. Like as we're pushing towards the top. We know we're not gonna get there instantly, but that is the goal. And the more I feel like the more I say it before it happens, the funnier it gets.
We've kind of talked a couple times about running into these super teams. These rosters absolutely stacked with some of the best people who've been playing the game for up to a decade at this point. If you could imagine a set within 20XX that would be the most hype set that you could possibly like have, who would it be against?
Um, I mean, given the teams at the moment, like if we want to base off that, um, I think it would be fun to play against Zenith and Yoshel. I think I'm like maybe one of the biggest Zenith and Yoshel Glazers like as a duo. In I think they had a segment like a while ago where they were like undisputed top 2 in the West, and I think that group is really good. It would also be fun to fight Moonlight, I think. I don't think I've ever played them. I like not
Yeah,
um not like uh, I don't remember playing them before. Um and so that would be pretty cool. But
same Moonlight. Yeah.
that would be a good YouTube video, I think.
Yeah, like even if we lose every game, I would make a video of fighting Moonlight. It's not just the clickbait, but also because it would be hype.
Droid, you're so content filled, man. Oh my
I
I'm
know.
god. I
sorry.
bought
I'm sorry.
Moonlight and we lost?
And we
Hey,
lost.
Stormy said I beat Splattroid 4 years ago when I was Div 7. So I'm just following the way it works. It's funny. It's funny.
in the footsteps of the masters. Um, um, kind of moving towards wrapping up, if you could give kind of a piece of advice or say something to someone who's maybe on the fence about signing up to 20xx, maybe it's a new competitive experience for them. Maybe they're kind of getting back into comp. They haven't played in a while. They're just a bit unsure. What do you say to them?
Yeah, majors are fun. Um, and you get to play good teams.
Something I really
And
like
also,
is that. Oh, sorry.
yeah, no, you can go, Droid.
Oh, something I really like is even if you get beaten like right away, the team you get beaten by, I usually like root for them, and so I get more invested in the tournament if I get beaten by a team in the tournament. I want them to win because if they beat me, they better go and beat the whole thing, win the whole thing. So that's what like it's super hype to see. So it gets me more invested the more, so like to get more attached to more teams, fight them.
Absolutely. There is something about like finishing up a tourney run and being like, damn, the people who knocked us out went on to win it. So like it makes it like part of it can be cope where it's like, oh damn, we didn't perform good, but at least we got taken out by like the best team there and not like some random people. But at the same time, if you're looking at it very like analytically and practically, you're gonna lose to the people who come first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the old reliable cope, you know.
We love Cope.
Um, guys, this has been a great chance to sit down and chat with you. Do you have anything you'd like to plug or say before we wrap up and head to Etria?
Follow our
Um,
blue sky.
Watch my Kovacs video when I actually post it.
Watch his aim video too. Even that one's been out for like a year or over. But yeah, watch it get aim.
While we're plugging, go watch my interview with Fern. While we're plugging, go watch my interviews.
Go watch Roa's interview.
Hell yeah. Hey, is there anything you guys want to plug? And then all of you both just say, oh yeah, just go watch Rose interviews.
They're so good. I watch every single one.
Hell yeah, my number one supporter, my number one glazer.
I am the interview guy. I
Nah.
finally got to be on one. The interview consumer at least.
Hell yeah. There's the meme of like, if there are 1 million Roa fans, I am one of them. If there are 100
Yeah,
Roa
that's
fans,
me,
I am
that's
one of
me.
them. If there is one Roa fan, it is me. If there are no Roa fans, I am dead.
Literally me.
Perfect. Thank you so much for taking the time, guys. If anyone at home wants to check out 20xx, it'll be on the 14th and 15th of March. Be sure to come by and check it out. It's going to be really cool. Some of the best teams in the West showing up to give you some high quality competitive Splatoon gameplay. If you want to sign up, there's still time. Link will be in the description. And thank you so much for taking the time to listen to the interview. And I hope to see you playing or watching, engaging in any way with 20xx. It's been an absolute joy to do these interviews. And I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you guys. I'll see you.